and one of the alumni was like, "Hey, man, you should come into this MMA gym I go to." And so I started doing it. I really liked it. By the time you've been wrestling for a long time, you're pretty much doing the same things you've been doing since you were a young lad. It's kind of
Yeah.
repetitive and boring. Uh, and getting into like Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and stuff. It was just so like new. Like it was fun doing new things, and I
Yeah.
really liked it. I took a fight that spring, and yeah, I never looked back. I think I finished my last final. Maybe it was like my second to last final, and went to weigh in. I got in my car from that final and drove to my first weigh-in.
He's wearing a t-shirt that says never made. I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.
So I know that you're born in Milwaukee, right?
No, Madison, right,
Okay,
like an hour
Madison. Okay.
west.
So a lot of people have been wondering why you have sort of a British accent.
Yeah, I usually always say a different reason every time. I usually tell people I was kicked in the face by like a horse,
Man,
but it's like a speech impediment I had when I was little.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
'Cause I know people from Milwaukee, I mean, up there, near the Canadian border, they
Yeah,
have a
like
sort of an accent. But I'm
yeah,
like, that's
no,
not the one.
no, it's a little different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, welcome back to the largest podcast in the world, Never Made Weight. Today we got Wes Schultz, Party Time MMA on Instagram. His nickname is Party Time. You must have recognized him from the Contender series. He's been on it twice. He lost the first one, second one, came back, got a finish. What do you call that finish?
I think that's a Suvalov stretch, right? If
Yeah,
I'm
never seen
pronouncing it
that one,
right.
man. Never seen that one. Where did that come from?
Well, usually it's just good to knock people down. I never really finish it. And I just heard my coach like, "Oh, throw your hips in, you got it." I was like, "Oh, fuck." Usually people just kind of flip forward and you kind of, jangle yourself on top to get
Yeah,
people out of those quad pods.
yeah,
But, I mean, if you don't respect it, you can get fucking subbed in it. Like, most people use the Kimura as, like, a sweep, but if
yeah.
you don't defend it, well, then it's a sub then.
Yeah, yeah. On the 28th, right?
February.
Yes, February 28th, T-Mobile Arena, Apex, Meta Apex.
No, Mexico City.
Oh yeah, Mexico City,
That's
February
right.
28th, Mexico City. You got
Yeah.
Baba Yaga.
Who?
Baba Yaga, that's their opponent's name, no?
No, it's,
Damian Penis.
yeah.
They call him Baba Yaga.
Do they? Shit.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is this? Where are you getting your information from?"
Right, Tapology fucked me up,
No, you're
man.
good. That's funny as hell. I like that nickname, though. That's fun.
You haven't done much research on your opponent?
I mean, my coaches go and, they look at his fight style and stuff. I don't go on his, like, Instagram page or nothing.
You're not really on Instagram much. You don't really care about that stuff.
I mean, I don't like the humanized, piece of the meat I'm about to beat.
I got it, got it. So you don't have an emotion like, on purpose, you're not trying to see who this is, you're not trying to know about him?
I mean, it's not like it affects me. It's just like it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't really, like. I mean, it doesn't really affect me. Like
You
some people
you
gotta be all into it.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy, but it's like, man, two dudes showing up to work, man, clocking in,
So you're
and with
detached
fights too, they
emotionally.
get changed around so much.
Yeah, of course.
Enough, it's like
So you're detached emotionally when you fight?
I think so. I think I do a good job of that, and that's a good thing to do. You don't want to be oh, let emotions affect your endorphins and whatnot.
Yeah. So how did you get into this game?
Shit, man. Let's see. I was in my 5th year of school. I was kind of like half coaching the college team at lacrosse. And one of the alumni was like, "Hey, man, you should come into this MMA gym I go to." And so I started doing it. I really liked it. By the time you've been wrestling for a long time, you're pretty much doing the same things you've been doing since you were a young lad. It's kind of
Yeah.
repetitive and boring. Uh, and getting into like Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and stuff. It was just so like new. Like it was fun doing new things, and I
Yeah.
really liked it. I took a fight that spring, and yeah, I never looked back. I think I finished my last final. Maybe it was like my second to last final, and went to weigh in. I got in my car from that final and drove to my first weigh-in for a
Wow,
fight, for my amateur fight.
that's hilarious. So you're able to snap in and out of it.
Yeah, yep. I mean, that's before every fight damn near, and I get called, it's like, "Alright, let's get into character here."
So party time, where did that come from, party time?
I don't know, I think my coaches gave it to me. Um, yeah, I'm a fun-loving dude. Out and
Seem like
about on occasions.
you seem like super normal. You seem like not an MMA fighter, but
I get that a lot.
obviously all of the MMA fighters seem super normal. Almost all of them do.
Dude,
So
there's a
like,
lot of weirdos. I feel like the weirdos don't make it
of
that far.
course, of course, they all come from the jiu-jitsu world.
Dude, I feel like you could almost make as not much money just making a TV show on, like, the weird people that come into fighting gyms. Or, like, you know what I mean? You look at weirdos on the regional scene that just, like, have the craziest backstories. And they'll do the crazy shit before their fight. They're like, they think they're walking out in, like, the Coliseum, and it'll
Yeah.
be like a fucking strip club. I mean, fucking blood and fucking other fluids on the floor. It's
Do you
very
do you
funny.
find those people usually do better or no?
Hell no.
Nah.
No way, man. I mean, occasionally you'll get freaks that make it through, but, I mean, you gotta be into it for, like, emotionally last so long, and, like, I think I've been fighting for damn near 7 years now, like, just to get to the fucking big show, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I'm, like, rung 0, lower than shit with this promotion. I gotta start working my way out back from, you know, nothing again.
Yeah. What's your village and origin story?
Ooh, that's a good fucking question.
That's a killer shirt,
Any
bro.
tax on the sale of, like, beer or alcohol, I guess.
Damn.
Maybe. I don't wanna say well, I don't like it when the government taxes shit people like, just because they think they shouldn't be doing it. Like, I don't really smoke, but it pisses me off when it's like, "Well, cigarettes are bad for you, so they gotta be $15 a pack." It's like, well, it's kinda just a stupid tax on the poor,
Yeah.
those who
So you're
can't
standing up for us, basically, for
like
people who do smoke.
let people fucking go to the shitty job, go home to a fucking wife they probably don't like. Let them have the fucking cheap cigarettes and alcohol. What's the big deal? That's what's been keeping culture moving forward for millennia, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, whenever you're in your day-to-day life, right? Whenever you walk into a room, you feel like do you ever have that feeling of like, "Hey, I could beat the shit out of anyone here?"
Occasionally, occasionally. Usually
That
if I'm
feel
being
good?
talked to by someone that, like in, like, a manner that I'm like, this is, like, one of the few times in the history of mankind that I have to stand here and take this bullshit.
Yeah. You gonna get in a lot of fights growing up?
Not too many. I have an IQ above 50, so usually using my, speech impediment words, like, if I can talk my way out of physical altercations, I feel like most people should be able to. They'd probably just choose not to.
So you see like, you're saying a lot of weird personalities enter the fight game. Uh,
Hell yeah.
you you f you ever feel like you gotta be a little crazy to do this anyway?
Yeah, but I think there's, like, a crazy where it's like, "You're fucking nuts," and there's a crazy where it's like, "I don't care."
Yeah. Who can you who do you off the top of your head, who do you feel that way about?
Someone that's, like, crazy because they're nuts or, like, someone
Nah,
that's
but
just, like,
somebody
a
like
fucking
that's like you don't like that.
psychopath. Well, I mean, shit, look someone like Wonder Boy. He just fucking ends people with vicious striking, and then you would never be able to tell outside the cage. It turns it on, and it's off before his opponent's lifeless corpse hits the fucking ground. He's already back to his normal self.
Yeah. So, what does happiness look like for you? Like, in life? Like, what are you trying to achieve through fighting?
Oh, man. Um, I mean, I'd like to own a home and, with land I can shoot a shitload of deer off of. Probably have enough kids so that even if a few of them are fucking losers, I'll at least have 1 or 2 I'm proud of. You know what I mean? I mean, that's yeah, I mean, at least having, like, 1 successful one would be cool.
Oh, that's sick, man. Are you married? You have a girl?
I'm not married right now, I have no kids, but, I mean, that's, it's always something to be thinking about.
How many you see in the future?
I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, maybe?
Would you lead them into your lifestyle?
I don't know, I think they should be a part of it. but actually attempting to make money on it is not only dangerous, but a challenging venture, which is only gonna get, more and more, I guess difficult. And if you look at, like, the NFL 50, 60 years ago, I feel like regular people could, in theory, if they worked hard and stuff, get into it, if they, put their life to it. But, the more popular something gets, the more people want to watch it, or the more people try to do it, the higher like, the physical needs for it will be, you know what I mean? Like, at some point,
Got
you're
it.
either born to do it or not.
Got it. And then if you could, be viewed in one way, how would you like to be viewed? Would you like to be like respected, feared, or just appreciated as far as the sport of MMA goes?
Well, I mean, I feel being appreciated is tough because it's, we don't really, I don't wanna say we don't really contribute too much, but, I mean, it is a fucking kick-ass sport. I guess looked at as someone that did something hard, you know? I mean, I have no problem when I'm done with this going to go drive a truck or something. I could go put my degree to work. I could go, I don't think I doubt I'll make enough money to live the rest of my life off this. Oh shit, that was my original one.
We're
But
early on schedule.
even
We're
if, like, this is like the one thing in my life that I went out, I put my mind to it, and I did something truly challenging, and face hurdles along the way, that type of bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, the first you had a contender series fight, you lost, and now you're on a 2-fight win streak, including the next contender series fight. How
Yep.
was that bouncing back from that?
Oh, that was pretty sweet. Plus, you get sweet gear from the Contender Series, so going through it twice, man,
What kind of gifts?
like, you get sweet gear, man. The fucking these
Gear.
are my favorite guy I'm wearing my Contender Series sweatpants right now. These are my favorite motherfucking sweatpants I've ever
That's
owned, and I
amazing,
get
bro.
2 of them courtesy of, Abdul Malik with Mansoor. He's a wonderful guy for that. He only has 1 pair of these fucking sweet sweatpants. I got 2 of them,
That's crazy.
thanks to
That's
him.
crazy. So this channel is called Never Made Weight, partly because I'm a big guy, never made weight. And for anybody who hasn't made weight, translate it into somebody who doesn't fight but watches fighting. We like to talk about food on this channel. Can you tell us about the snacks at the back over there at Contender Series?
Ooh, they usually got sandwiches in their fridge, water, chips, nothing too heavy. Although you don't when you're going through your photos and shit, like, they fly you out there twice. Once for, like, photos and interviews, which it's like, eat all the snacks you want. But then the second time you go through, obviously, you wait till you're done fighting. Although I didn't get any snacks my first time, and the hospital had no snacks either, which was fucking
Wow.
lame.
Brutal.
Can't catch a break in this life, man.
Basically, bro.
It's not for the, weak-hearted. But I've actually yet to go to the PI while I was in the UFC. I think O'Day Osborne took me once,
Yes,
and that was fucking sweet, and they got, like, kitchens and stuff.
that's great.
But it didn't line up after my last fight. I would have to take, like, a week off work, which, I mean, I'm down to do. I'm a bartender, I can do that whenever. But I had hunting season coming up, Christmas and stuff, like holidays. I'm like, "Shit, I don't think this is gonna work." So I'm pumped to see what the PI in in Old Mexico, in Mexico City has.
I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of food. I mean, at the cars, it always seems like they serve food to the fighters after they're done in the back. So about the snacks, you're saying there was only sandwiches and chips and
Your casual snacks, your coffee, which they watch to make sure you don't drink before you fight. I was pissed they didn't have a fucking bar in the, Apex.
bar?
Yeah, man.
What would you have at the bar?
I could start out with something light, like a tequila water.
Nice.
You are around a lot of big names and stuff there, so you might wanna keep it even lighter, maybe like a light beer or something, stay on your feet a little bit,
Well, you need 2 shots
keep
to
your
start off.
tongue in tract. I
Yeah.
mean, if I have a couple drinks, this speech impediment gets so I gotta work to talk normal, and I kinda lose that effort.
So they pay for your flight, they pay for your stay, they feed you. Do
Mhm.
they feed you besides the I know I'm talking about a lot about food. You're probably in a weight cut, aren't you?
Fuck no, that's a what, like, month out? I don't cut that much weight.
No?
Although they got me on, the UFC sends you meals, which is sweet, and a shitload of supplements. They got me on creatine this camp, which I've never taken before, so I'm a little heavier than I've ever been.
Interesting.
But
What's your diet look like right now?
pretty much the UFC meals, I mean, I usually make a shitload of, like, roasts and stuff during this time of the year. I got 2 deer this year. Usually, like, once a week, I like, make a roast, in my crock pot with, like, like, potatoes, carrots, all, like, the regular roast type stuff. But I haven't been really doing that the last month because the UFC's been sending me these meals. You're supposed to, like,
All the way to
microwave them or
home?
oven them, and they're pretty and they're fucking good. But I always just, fry up a couple pieces of bacon, then I'll take that off, cut it up, puncture the package, dump it into the skillet, fry that up, and then throw the little bacon bits back in, and it's fucking
Wow. We
delicious.
need a cooking segment with you, man.
It's like, when you're working out as much as, like, a fighter in camp and at some with especially if you're at a weight you should actually be at, like, I'm a real middleweight. I'm not a light heavyweight cutting down, and I'm not a, welterweight moving up. I can eat, until, like, 2, 3 weeks out, I can eat pretty much what I want. The big thing I'm thinking is am I getting enough food? Am I getting enough calories, enough all the macros and micro proteins and bullshit like that?
Yeah. The
That's more my thought.
Is it easy for you, like, keeping up with all this nutrition and stuff?
Oh, man, dude, I think I take, like, 24, 25 different little, like, vitamins and stuff they send me a day. I feel like an old person, you know what I mean?
Can you you said that the UFC has been sending you food. I know you're back home right now. So you're telling me they send you food to your house?
Dude, they'll do that. I forgot which company they put in the ship. I should fucking say it. I should go look at it and say which company it is because
It's
they
like
do.
breaking news for us.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I
Yeah, I mean,
didn't.
that's an option. I mean, I'm sure a lot of, like, the upper level guys probably don't do it. They probably have their own chefs and shit. I don't think Elliot Tapur is fucking eating the
I'm sure the
microwave
guy's a
meals.
millionaire.
But, you know what I mean? For me, it's like, that's a shitload of money I can save in camp, you know?
That's amazing.
It's great. I mean, I consider it part of the pay, you know?
Yeah.
You're not going out or doing anything, not spending money on stupid shit, not really traveling. A big part of your food budget's taken care of. You don't have to spend money on supplements. They take good care of you, and that I just paid all my bills for the month and paid all my credit cards and shit. I was like, "Oh, wow, this is not what they usually are." I mean, that's just, saving me 3, 4 grocery trips right there.
Bro, you can't even go to Jack in the Box without spending 15.
See, I wouldn't know that. We don't have those in Wisconsin. We just see the commercial.
Really?
Nope.
Damn, we're breaking a lot of news today. What's your, like, go-to fast food?
I mean, Culver's is good, but I usually just get the, like, custard. Like, I never really grew up eating their, like, meals and stuff,
Wow. Wow.
but
Yeah, well, Jack in the Box is just like any other fast food. It's like McDonald's. Even McDonald's, you can't go to McDonald's and spend, like, if you get a meal, you can't spend less than 15 bucks
yeah,
feeding
I
your.
mean, that's true. I mean, I'm more of a McChicken guy myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Same. I love chicken too.
around here, you'll get, like, 2 for, like, $4, so it's
Oh,
not
wow,
bad.
okay.
It's not as
I mean, I
bad as
live in Los Angeles, so everything is more expensive here.
that would do me in. No McChickens.
McChicken Wait, McChicken 2 for 4, you can do it, but the thing is with maybe I said grown man, I should have said a man like me, because for me, McChicken's not gonna do it, you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
mean, that's not like my dinner, you know what I mean? That's like a
Yeah.
snack, and then you get home, I
Yeah, it's
usually
a
like to
snack.
cook something.
Yeah.
And it's
You
not
walk
like
out of there spending like $6, you know? Would you Do you drink soda, Wes?
mixer? Not really, not too much.
Soda.
Yeah, I know, mixer.
Oh, it's called mixer with you guys? Hey, man, Wisconsin's a different place, man.
I don't really drink a lot of soda, although when I'm in camp, I'll drink a little bit more. We got, like, Sprecher root beer and stuff on tap right from the keg at where I work, and, usually I can just if I'm not in camp, I think, well, I'll sip a beer or something every once in a while, but, in camp, if I want a little sugar rush, I can just give myself a little Sprecher root beer. That shit is delicious, but you would never catch me drinking it outside of a camp, you know what I mean?
Wow, okay.
I'm not
Well
gonna drink a Coca-Cola when I could drink, like, an Old Milwaukee or something.
Okay. Well, I just want to know, like, with you personally, are you a UFC fan on your own time? Like, are you watching the cards and stuff?
Yeah, it's tough though, 'cause I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights.
What do you do?
I bartend.
Bartend.
So, on Saturday, I had the fights going on an iPad on Paramount, and, it would be, like, between making drinks and stuff, I'd quick sneak a peek. But I mean, it kinda pisses me off because like, I'll see one guy win, like, the first round, and then maybe I'll see a bit of the third round, and then they'll, like, raise someone's hand, I'll be like, I didn't see any parts of the fight where this
Yeah,
guy was winning, but I only watched, a little over a third of it.
yeah. You're only seeing like a little bit here, a little bit there. You don't know the whole fight story.
Yeah, I mean, usually I can get off early enough and sprint down to a bar right next to the restaurant I work at, and I can catch if it's a numbered UFC fight, I can catch the featured fight, the co-main and the main. And they'll
Okay,
be like,
cool.
"Dude, it's still $10 if you come this late." I was like, "Fuck you, these are the fights I wanna watch. Fuck yeah, here's my
Yeah,
$10. Take my money."
yeah. So I mean, growing up, what kind of sports were you into?
I was into fucking sports, man. I was into, like, the Lord of the Rings and shit,
Yeah,
you know?
you like Lord of the Rings most out of any other series?
Fuck yeah, man. I mean, honestly, if you read the books, like, Game of Thrones are a lot easier to read, which I just finished up the fucking, Storm of Swords, that's the 3rd one for the 2nd time,
So
probably, like, half
you're a
hour
book guy.
ago.
You're not watching it.
I mean, it was good, like, I remember having, that used to come out on Sundays in the summer, and I'd always be home from college because I fucking switched schools every year, and I'd have all my shit in the garage, um, and my pal from across the street, he'd be home for the summer too, and I'd have, like, my couch from school, my TV, fucking cooler set up with the TV, and we'd have Garage of Thrones every Sunday.
That's amazing.
We'd fucking watch Game of
Sounds
Thrones,
good,
have a
man.
couple fucking beers, and that was fun when it was coming out. Looking
Yeah,
back in retrospect, they kind of muddled the series after season 4, but they had a good
really,
run. They had a good
really.
run. I'm not sure if you ever watched it or read the books.
No,
I'd recommend it.
Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I
The Lord of
watched
the Rings,
watched the show on HBO Max.
dude, it's very, very satisfying to read the books, and it's a good reason to stay off your phone too.
Yeah.
You know, what
Is
else you
that
gonna do?
something that you struggle with, staying off your phone?
Not when I'm reading or doing crosswords. Occasionally, I read the newspaper.
You're an interesting man.
I mean, dude, it's good for the eyes, man.
Yeah. No, just in general, having good habits, you know? It seems like everything around us is bad for us. So like it's just so hard to do everything right. It's so hard to be perfect. Like, hey, today I'm not gonna smoke weed. Okay, I get that done, but then I cheat on my diet. Today I'm not gonna cheat on my diet. I cheat on my diet, but I have too many cigarettes. It's like it's hard for
Yeah,
me to
yeah.
be perfect, you know?
I thought you were gonna say cheat on my girlfriend. It's like, dude, I didn't smoke weed, but yeah, I fucked this
Oh,
bitch. Days without incident, 0.
yeah, of like
Exactly.
warehouses and stuff. So Wes, what's the game plan, bro, for the 20?
Oh man, I mean, I think most game plans went out the window as soon as they doubled those bonuses. Finishes, finishes, finishes. And we're at elevation too. I don't foresee this going 15 rounds. I think
And then
one of them get
party time MMA makes sense when you put it that way.
I mean, if they don't pay us for decisions, literally. It's in the fucking pay structure now, and I love it.
That's amazing.
I mean, I hate it when I see guys fucking go out there and just kind of push foot around for 15 minutes. Yeah, there's fights that happen where like you have a ref, you get the 2 guys, there's a commission, people bought tickets, and a match kind of happened, but like a fight didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we've seen that countless times. But I
Which
would say the UFC does a pretty good job in like avoiding that. As you
for the
said, you don't get
most
paid for
part,
decisions.
I mean, and I think they've fixed a fucking hole in the system this last week when they announced those bonuses, the finish bonuses. Um, now you don't have to be scared. If you catch like a cheap guillotine, you're like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna get paid like a performance bonus for this because it's not a crazy submission, but I still get that 25K.
Yeah.
Finish it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that how you're going into the fight on the 28th to take him out of there?
I
That's
always
your
go
goal.
into fights to take them out of there.
That's that you don't obviously you're emotionally detached. You don't love this guy. You didn't even know his nickname. He's just another piece of meat. You're gonna get in there. You're gonna win, and you're gonna collect the bonus. That's what you're thinking.
Ideally, and some days you fucking wake up in the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but it also helps when you're fighting, like to have I don't know, like a goal, and you don't think you're gonna be in the 15. Obviously, you prepared to be in the 15. Yeah, but I mean, even when I was like wrestling, I'd always like pin guys.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd lose the match because I'm going for the pin, and then I get scored on or whatever. Get tired late
You go
because
big.
and
You go big.
literally.
Yeah, you have to go big. You have to go big or go home. If you want to make some money, you gotta do it. You gotta do some crazy stuff. Do you find that you have a hard life or no?
Not really. I think my life is probably easier than most, easier than I deserve at least. I get to do something I like, twice a day. Like right now, it feels hard 'cause I'm sore as fuck from the last 3 days, 2 days and stuff.
Yeah,
It always feels like there's never enough time. Not
yeah,
so much like in a camp, like 8 weeks is plenty, but it's like, oh, like I want to do so many things every day.
yeah,
But I also don't want to be fucking burnt when I do my sparring. Not that that's not helpful, but you don't want to be thinking you have less than you do. Thinking you
yeah,
can't do things you could if you were arrested.
yeah,
But yeah, no, not maybe. I mean, if I did this for another 5 years and didn't really get much of anywhere with it, it could be a hard life. But I'm still young enough to make it. Still
yeah.
springy enough to make it happen.
We're the same age, bro. I'm a couple months your elder. Yeah, I want to know if you have a message for Baba Yaga.
Hell no.
You don't want to talk to him.
I mean, after the fight, we can talk. I don't know. I don't know like what they speak in Aruba, honestly.
You don't know what?
I don't know what, like, language they speak in Aruba, also.
To be honest, I'm not even sure. To be honest, I'm not even sure.
I always
Hey,
thought that was, like, m mid-Caribbean, but I think Aruba's damn near like, South America. I think he trains in
where
Brazil.
he's from. I don't know where he's
He's from
from.
Aruba, I'm pretty sure.
He's from Aruba. Yeah, I don't know where that's at, man.
And plus, what if I start talking shit to him, even if I win, like, I don't wanna like, I probably wanna go there someday. I don't wanna get fucking murked by some random that's
Sometimes it
you
translates
talk
bad.
bad about the country.
It translates bad. You know what I mean? It's like when someone calls the Dagestani's mother effer, they're like, it's like a terrible thing for them. It's like you're talking about my mother.
I mean, I think once it was a terrible thing as well. Yeah.
But nowadays it's socially accepted.
Yeah, true.
Nowadays it's like a term of endearment almost. You motherfucker.
It's like it's had like an inverse motherfucker, and the N word has been like, you know what I mean? As one has been culturally accepted, one's
I
gone way
mean,
down. It's like
one is
it's the
one is
opposite.
very different than the
It's
other.
it's the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Wes, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today, man. Do you have any message for your fans?
Ooh, do I have fans?
I'm sure you do.
Damn. Fucking, I don't know. Party on, man. Legalize it. I don't know. That used to be a good go-to phrase, but then they've already done it for most places. So
Anything else?
not really. That's all I think.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Hey, listen, if you guys are fans of Wes Schultz, let him know. Follow him, comment on his photos, because he seems like he doesn't know if you exist or not. But
I,
nevertheless, on the 28th in Mexico City, Wes Schultz fights Baba Yaga. Wes, we wish you all the best of luck. Guys, thank you for watching Never Made Weight, the largest podcast in the world. I'm your host, Sped. Thank you very much.
He's wearing a t-shirt that says never made. I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.